Hi everyone. So today video I want to talk about Chemobrain. So before I um, did treatments for cancer, I had no idea what Chemobrain was. So I thought that maybe it was just like a slang term that people use, but it actually is a real thing. It is a side effect that the doctors do explain to you, but they don't really explain to you what Chemobrain is. So I'm going to kind of maybe tell you what my version of Chemobrain is because it's happening to me more often. So basically, Chemobrain is you forgetting things, being more forgetful. Sometimes you may, forget from day to day things or things that you used to, um, know. You just don't know anymore. Sometimes it is mid sentence, you'll forget what you're talking about. This happens to me all the time. Um, yeah, it's actually something very common that most people that are going through cancer treatments, about 50% of people that are going through cancer treatments, they do have Chemobrain. Um, Sometimes it can last all the way through your treatment. It can even last 2, 5, 10, up to 20 years. So even after treatment, you can have just a lapse of forgetting. Um, it is a side effect. There isn't any way of treating it. My doctor said there are steps that you can do to help treat Chemobrain. So, one of the things that you can do to help yourself is a lot of people have anxiety over, having cancer. That just brings a whole round of anxiety to you, to yourself, to your family. So, you want to try to kind of relax, try to reduce the amount of stress. I know that it is so hard to do that. You say, yeah, reduce the amount of stress, but who is not stressed when they're having cancer treatments? I'm like totally stressed, right? So you have bills and, the cost of having cancer, and, you're missing your family and you're missing, things with your family. So just try to reduce some of the stress. Stress also induces forgetfulness, so that's just one thing that they say. Another thing too is I am doing this a lot. I know that usually older people do this. I'm only 38 years old, so I know it's kind of ridiculous, but I make notes. I note everything. I have a calendar, so if the kids have conferences, you know, um, school dates, appointments, I have a ton of appointments as people, that have cancer have appointments. So you just want to be able to write everything in to your book or your calendar, so you don't forget. I color code each of my kids have a color code. So my wife, anybody that has that's in my family is color coded. So my kids um, are pink, red, green, yellow, and orange. So for me, it's easier when I, put their an appointment on there. Each person is color coded, so it helps me triggers in my mind. Oh yes, my daughter is pink, and my boys are green and orange, and my wife is red. So that kind of helps. You kind of know what um, keeps you on track. Another thing that you can do is going to appointments. You have a lot of time, especially during chemo and that kind of stuff. You have so much time just sitting, doing your treatment. So things to keep your mind right and sharp. Sudoku, puzzles, reading, different things that you can do to kind of help you keep your mind, sharp. Another thing that is really super important is sleep. I know for me, my sleeping habits are all over the place. Sometimes I have so much pain that it's hard to sleep. So I try to, get as much sleep as possible. When you are deprived of sleep, and especially when you're in pain, you start forgetting things. So you're more forgetful. So I find myself forgetting more when I am just really tired, stressed. Another thing that is helpful is that you're eating right, drinking plenty of fluids, having your body hydrated. When your body gets dehydrated, it kind of, you start forgetting things and you just, lose track of your thoughts, and your brain, isn't as sharp. Another thing too that I'm finding a hard time right now for me is multitasking. I work in a job that I am used to multitasking, but I'm much more tired than I usually am. So it's harder for me to multitask at this point in time. I can do it, but I just kind of struggle. And it takes me a little bit longer to get into the groove of multitasking, where before I could just do it, boom, and I could just do it. So that's another thing too. One major thing that you need to remember is if you're dealing with Chemobrain or different things, make sure that you relax and give yourself time. It's really important. So it's just important for you to just be patient with yourself. Um, if you're forgetting a lot of things, just be patient. I know for me, I'm kind of my worst enemy. I'm super hard on myself, but I have to remember your body is going through so much stress. um, all of the medications that you're taking. I take a ton of medications, the chemo medications. I take breathing medication for the lung cancer that I have, tamoxifen, all of these things. So your body is just going through the stress. And the fact of, if you're trying to still work, I'm still trying to work while I'm doing treatments. And I work 12-hour days. So you just have to remember, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself. Try not to add extra stress upon yourself. And like I said, I'm my worst enemy. I am super hard on myself. I push myself to the max all the time, telling myself all the time that I need to, get this done, or I need to do this stuff. And listen to your body. Just if your body doesn't seem right or you don't feel right, make sure you're calling your doctor. Make sure you're going to ER if you need to. Just pay attention to yourself and your body. And it's okay to be forgetful. My family jokes all the time about my forgetfulness, but it is normal, super normal to have Chemobrain. I hope this has helped you. Just love each other, love yourself, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.